Today I'm going to show you how to make the creamiest, most luscious butter beans and pigtails in your Instant Pot. So let's get to cooking. These are the seasonings we're going to use: hickory smoked salt, onion powder, garlic powder, poultry seasoning, smoked paprika, black pepper, and bay leaves. So the star of this dish, of course, is our butter beans or lima beans, and also I have a pack of smoked pigtails. Now, the nutrition of these lima beans is very good. It is 13 servings per bag. It has 14 net carbohydrates. It's low in sodium, high in potassium, 7 grams of protein per serving. I have my pigtails that we're going to rinse off, and then I'm going to rinse off my beans and put them in this bowl. So I just added my 1 pound bag of beans to water, and I'm going to let them soak as I do for all of my beans before I cook them. During this time, I pick out any beans that are already open or half, because these tend to be tougher since they're dried out. So I like to pick them out before cooking. And any bean skin that floats to the top, I remove that as well. So I'm going to put the top on and just let this soak for about 45 minutes to an hour. You can do it overnight if you want, just stick it in the fridge. Now I'm rinsing off my butter beans. After about 30 minutes or so, you can see the gunk that comes off of them. So what I'm going to do now is prepare my stock in order to cook the pigtails first. I had a little bit of mushroom stock left over, so to that I just added enough water to make 4 cups of liquid, but I want you to put 5 cups in your Instant Pot at this time, and I'll tell you why later in the video. After my pigtails have been rinsed off, I just put them in a separate bowl. And now this is what they look like. You can see it looks like the tail of a pig. If you eat bacon or ham, then this is the same animal that you're eating that meat from. In an effort to not waste any part of the animal that's been slaughtered, many people eat the pigtails. They are very economical, so that's probably the main reason why people ate them in the past. I like them because they taste good. They're high in collagen, and that has some benefit as well. Now I'm just adding the seasonings that I showed you at the beginning of this video. Because these don't contain salt, I'm adding about a tablespoon or 2 to season the broth and the beans. The only thing that I am reserved with, of course, is my salt and my pepper. So now my stock is in there. I turned my Instant Pot to sealing, and now I'm turning on pressure cook. I'm cooking these on high pressure for 12 minutes because they're going to cook even longer with our beans later. So now that it's been off for 13 minutes, I changed the setting to venting to get all of the pressure out to open it. Look at these, y'all, almost perfectly tender, and look how rich that stock looks now. But these are how the cooked pigtails looked, very seasoned, and the aroma is absolutely amazing. But these are going to cook even longer. But I went to look at my lima beans that have been soaking, and what is this? Like, I've never had my beans do this. Now, usually I make lima beans from frozen lima beans, but I've never had my pintos, black eyed peas, or Great Northerns wrinkle like this. So I don't know if they're bad or too dry, so I'm gonna throw them away. I got another bag of large lima beans, and they're not expired. I bought both bags at the same time. They expire next year. So this time I'm just gonna rinse the beans off and pick out the broken pieces, and I'm gonna cook it that way. And so in the container, I have a couple of tablespoons of minced garlic and 1 chopped up medium-sized onion that I'm gonna throw in with the beans because that will add delicious flavor and some nutrients. So all of this is going into the Instant Pot. Now I'm mixing this up, and this looked like a good amount of broth in there for me, but I only added 4 cups. If you remember, you're going to have 5 cups, so you're going to see more liquid at this point, and that's exactly what you want. So now I'm going to turn on my Instant Pot again. We're going to pressure cook on high pressure. Most places tell you to cook dry beans for 25 minutes in your Instant Pot. I'm a little extra, so I did 26 minutes. And it's hard to see with the light on that this is high pressure, but when you're trying to cook on high pressure, make sure it's high pressure and not low pressure, because that will impact your cook time. So now that it's finished and it's been natural releasing for a few minutes, I open it up and look at that, y'all. Much of my water has evaporated. It's still some in there, but some of my beans are still hard. Too hard to eat. So I suspect because I only cooked with 4 cups of liquid when I did my pigtails, some must have evaporated, so it wasn't quite enough for the beans. So I'm going to take this time to add some additional seasonings. I'm going to add a few tablespoons of butter, half a teaspoon of smoked sea salt, some more garlic and parsley powder. I'm just covering the beans to season the beans and the broth. I'm also adding more onion powder. So at this point, I'm just seasoning to my taste. And there is some additional butter. And I'm going to give it a stir. And I'm just going to cook it a little bit longer. But they look delicious. And the piece that I could taste that was cooked was absolutely delicious. I just need the consistency of the creaminess all the way through every bean. So I'm going to cook this on high pressure for 10 more minutes and see how that does. So now that it has finished cooking, it's been on natural release for 8 minutes. I'm going to take a look and it smells amazing. Be careful with that steam because it is super, super hot with that pressure that was in there. So you can see how my pigtails have broken down and are lovely. And this was some stock left in it, but I like a bit more of that pot liquor, but it was very creamy, very delicious. I added some parsley for a pop of color, and this was a very satisfying meal to eat of beans and pigtails. So if you eat pigtails or somebody in your family used to eat them, leave me a comment down below and let me know I'm not the only one. Thank you so much for watching my video.